Gully says hi too. How we doing? I've decided to stop trying to make schedules with y'all because I say I'm gonna be here on a day and then I don't do it. And I think it's something that, something that has to do with, I don't know, me saying it and then it not happening. That's just how the world works. But yeah, basically I haven't kept my promises because A, I'm tired, and B, I've been sad. That's it. We don't need to dwell on the details, but that's the gist of it. But I'm feeling better today, more alive, less anxious. And yeah, part of that is literally because of Daniel Sloss and Emma Chamberlain. Daniel Sloss was here yesterday in Boston. He was performing at the Wilbur, and it was his first show of the U.S. tour, and I so badly wanted to go, but by the time that I found out about it, the show was full. This was weeks ago, by the way. So he set up another thing in Medford, which I did get tickets for. But then Ticketmaster sent me an email the other day and was like, "Hi, we've issued a refund for your ticket because it's canceled." And I was like, "Why?" And I fully expected Daniel Sloss to offer some kind of an explanation on his story, but that day was the day that he released his book, so he did not. I want the book so fucking badly, except I found out there's also an audiobook read by him, so I had to make my peace with giving Amazon more of my money in the form of purchasing Audible again, but I'll do it for Daniel anyway. He did okay, I'm pushing buttons, I promise you. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, he does have another show in Boston. I will be going to that one. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this shit. If this is how I die, then that's a pity. But anyway, I'm so excited. But okay, but anyway, so that's the Boston, I almost said that's the Boston Chamberlain bit. That's the Daniel Sloss bit, that he was here in Boston last night. He was also, I went to the Met when I was in New York, but 2 days afterwards, he was so close to that museum. Like, I'm so close, but I'm so far. Like, if I just got the dates right, I would meet all of my favorite people. But anyway, so he was here. He's not here anymore. He'll be back. Emma is another person that's been like in and out of New York at the same times that I have, and it just like hasn't coincided just right, and it's devastating for me. I was listening to her podcast today that was released today, and she said, I'm guessing she recorded it yesterday or sometime recently, that she was in New York and she was going to be going to Boston. One of like the 2 people that I know here in Boston ran into her. So anyway, there I was, 3 p.m. at work, trying to decide whether or not to brave the streets of Boston on my own, to just like walk around and do the goddamn thing. Then when I got home, I found that I got a package from my brother. He gave me an early birthday present, which was an Emma Chamberlain tote bag with the cat on it. And you know what? That just felt like a sign, okay? Like, I don't know why my controls do that. It felt like a sign, like I needed to do something about it, truly. Like, if I want to meet the people I want to meet, then I gotta go, you know, grab life by the balls and walk around. Yet here we are. Anxiety won yet again. I don't know where to go, and Truly, I don't. I'm still new. I don't know where to go. And the thing is, here's the thing. I love coffee shops and I love bookstores. So I know that, like, if I was staying in Boston, I probably would run into an Emma who doesn't know Boston, because I'd probably be looking up the same place as she is. But I'm far. And I looked at places, and literally just the thought of trying to park. I figured it out though. Download the app Spot Hero. It's a lifesaver, game changer. Your guardian angel, you're welcome. It finds parking for you, like, in nearby spots, and like the places that I've parked in are high-key sketchy, and it's like there's no way my car could just be here. But I took the chance, and there it was. I'm like weirdly not anxious about probably the most important things, like, is my car gonna be there when I get back? I don't know. I'll find out. But then here I'm like, should I get in my car and drive to Boston? And literally the thought of just that part, I can't get past it. Yeah, I don't know where to go. That, and like my spots are coffee shops, and all the coffee shops around here close like by 7 if they are open that late. I found some that like also have wine, but then I saw that they're a chain, so like I'm already gonna have to give my money to Audible for fucking Daniel's Law, so I can only allow myself to support capitalism so much. So anyway, yeah, that's what's sort of semi-awakens me. I'll hang out in Boston this weekend. I'll figure out something. I'll try. The weather's just like so stinking pretty here. The trees are really pretty. A coworker of mine told me that like it's not normally this green this time of year. So I'd like to think it's just for me. For little old me. I mean, a whole ass hurricane came here the first summer that I lived here, so you know, I am the main character. But anyway, yeah, I've been sad like since I got back from New York, and I don't really know why. I think it's because I loved New York so much. There's this thing that happens there where like my anxiety just goes away, and I think it's because I lose this mentality of thinking that like everybody's looking at me, or like my anxiety mostly stems from the idea that I'm doing something wrong. That's what it is at its core. And we don't need to get into that. I need a therapist for that one. But yeah, it's like in New York, as long as you're not being an asshole, you're fine. And honestly, nobody gives a flying fuck about you. Nobody's paying attention. And it's so great. It's so weird how like that idea of like nobody cares changes everything for the better. It literally just steals the power from my anxiety right away. So I really loved that, and I loved that like I was on a train, and I don't know, I really like that train from Penn Station to South Station. Just like, I don't know, I feel like I'm alive, like I'm sharing in these human experiences when I do stuff like that, and then I get home and I'm like, now what? Like all I want to do is walk for 5 miles a day. I'm not even kidding. I felt spectacular after I did that, and I just want to do it again. And I can't really do that because my area is a tiny bit sketchy, and like I kind of probably shouldn't be walking around in the dark, and unfortunately it gets dark early, and as soon as I get home it's like there's only half an hour of daylight, and there's only so much I can do. Anyway, I'm gonna roam around in the daylight, hopefully, this weekend. But yeah, that's it. Other than that, I haven't been watching any of the movies I'm supposed to be. I barely watched Practical Magic 2 nights ago. And even then, I literally stopped the movie to watch something else and then got back on. which is dumb because, like, why would I do that? Practical magic is literally perfect. Everything about it. It's just like magical and whimsical and kind of scary and just like this tale of two sisters and family and just amazing women. Yeah, I don't know what more you want me to say. It's literally great. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a kid walking around my parents' backyard pulling at my grandma's roses and sticking them in a cereal bowl, praying to find, you know, my man. I'd be lying if I said I didn't do that. Yeah, I love this movie so much. Yeah, and I've also been watching that show. I have a show on my list, but it's not yet. It's for a couple weekends from now. But that show is What We Do in the Shadows. It's on Hulu, or it's FX, but it's on Hulu, whatever companies. Yeah, I've seen it before and it's hilarious. I love all of the bits of it. Literally all of it. I think all of it is so funny to me. And I'll go way more in depth when the time comes, but that's been my feel-good show. And then mostly just YouTube, not much else, but I did watch Practical Magic. I was supposed to watch Little Shop of Horrors. I don't even know what I was supposed to watch today. It was probably a scary one. You find out, actually. Coraline was yesterday. Oh, balls. I love that movie. And Young Frankenstein was tonight. Yeah, I'm really falling off. I'd like to say I'd like to catch up this weekend, but as we know, I don't keep my promises. And I have plans for the weekend, so we'll try. But I absolutely will watch all of those. I love Coraline from the bottom of my heart. I have so many theories. There's one thing that I can't get past with that movie. Maybe one of you few have the answer to, but I'll go over that when the time comes. Shit. I think this will be the last game. The only other thing that I've watched recently is Ghost. I watched it last night. I was very sad last night. And I just pulled open Netflix and there it was. And I was like, fuck yeah. I love Ghost. And I hate when I say that I love it because people are immediately like, oh, is it the Pottery movie? Like, shut up. It is such a good romance film. It's such a good thriller. It's such a good comedy. I mean, like, you put it just switches on a dime from scary to funny to romantic to sad back to funny. Patrick Swayze is a ghost. And you're really gonna sit there and tell me that it's a Pottery movie? Shut up. Whoopi Goldberg is fucking gold in this movie. I love her to death. I believe it is the only movie she's won an Oscar for? I get the awards mixed up, so I could be wrong. Which is insane to me because she's such a phenomenal actor, but yeah, this is the only movie she's gotten the actual award for. I think it was nominated for a few other things. I'm just going based off memory here because I just love the movie so much, but I know I've looked it up at some point. Demi Moore is the GOAT. She's absolutely gorgeous. I watch this movie and I fall in love with her more. Just every time. She's... God, and then just like the shots in this movie. I mean, like, one of my favorite shots is like this mirror part where they're in like the apartment when like it's when the best friend is first seeing the apartment like all fixed up, and he helps them like pull this like big statue thing inside, and then there's he turns around and he's like, wow, look at this place. And what you don't see is that like he's standing in front of a mirror, and that's what the camera is capturing. And so you see the mirror like slowly pull back, and as it pulls back, you see more of the room, and it's just like, it's a good shot. I love like this when the camera's like super on the floor and it's looking like this, like right when Patrick Swayze dies. It does it in other parts too, like when those weird creatures come out. Also, that's a freaky concept. Is like when you die, if you're going, you know, to the bad place, then these shadows just like, maybe that's what woke up a bit of me. I think it was that, because there's something about Unchained Melody that just like unchains me, if you will. So anyway, yes, we're still doing spooky sessions. Practical Magic is the best. It is phenomenal. We love Sandra Bullock. We love Nicole Kidman. We love the 90s. Okay, so like I said, the next movies are Little Shop of Horrors, Coraline, Young Frankenstein, ooh, A Nightmare on Elm Street was supposed to be tomorrow. That's scary. Fear Street is this coming weekend. That is also scary. So we'll see what happens. I may not keep my promises, but I have this weird OCD thing about still doing things in order, so I probably absolutely will still do those movies in order. So next would be Little Shop of Horrors. I love that one. It has one of my favorite bits of all time of literally just Steve Martin. Like, it's the dentist thing. It's so funny. Where, like, he's a kid and he truly enjoys, like, torture and pain. And he's like, so I'll be a dentist. That's phenomenal. I love it so much. Yeah, okay. Bye.